Today we're going to be talking about Microsoft Excel, and we'll be going through the home environment, the Excel environment, and some basics of Excel that you need to know. Now, first of all, what is Excel? Well, what Excel is it's a spreadsheet program. In Microsoft Office, will give you a package of programs. And of course, Word, as you see here, Microsoft Word, is one of the most common. There's some other ones. There's Microsoft Outlook. That's an email program. Microsoft Scheduler, that helps you keep track of your schedule. So there's various different parts of the Microsoft suite. But there's really four major ones. So you got Word, you got Excel, and of course PowerPoint. We all know PowerPoint is a slideshow program. Publisher, if you want to publish things, that allows you to, like pamphlets or documents is what Publisher does. So that's another one. And let's screen up here. We have Access and we have Excel. And it's important to know, especially between Word, Excel, and Access, what the differences between the three of them are, because a lot of times people will misuse one or the other. So Word, of course, is a basic word processing program. It's very powerful. You can import figures, you can import charts, you can do tables. So it basically allows you can basically write a book in Microsoft Word with all the figures, because you can import them all in and format them. The caveat of Word is when you make, for example, a table in Word, if you make it in Word, it becomes a little complicated on the formatting sometimes, on formatting your cells and getting them to look correctly, because they're each individual cells. So be careful when using Word in that manner. Access is probably the least common used of the three. Not many people know Access, which is really a shame because it's a very powerful program. It's a database program. So let's say you're running a library and you have a card catalog, and you want to make this card catalog searchable, so I can go in there and just hit a topic. Well, I can put all my information in Access and create various queries in Access to search the database. And I can sort the database in multiple different ways. I can even do some very simple calculations in Access. I could take a column and multiply it by another column. And so I can do very simple things, but it's a data access type of tool. The final one is Excel. And Excel is a spreadsheet. And it's important to know what a spreadsheet is. A spreadsheet is a mathematical program. It's a way to do repetitive mathematical computations easily, is what spreadsheets do. So, and they're important in the engineering world because we have a lot of computations that involve either trial and error. You try a number, you throw it through, and you see what the results are. Kind of a judicious guessing equivalent in differential equations. So a lot of times that's what you have to do. You guess at a solution, and you see what it comes up with. And then you have to keep guessing and guessing and guessing. And so if you got to do repetitive computations like that, Excel is wonderful. If you're doing conversions or multi-step, so you're taking a solution and performing a mathematical function on it, and then that becomes part of another solution, and it's a whole series of equations. Excel is a wonderful tool. Two things Excel is not, though. It is not a word processing program. So if you're going to create figures and do word processing, it's very limited. It's not the intent of Excel to do that. And that creates a lot of problems when you start doing that. I had a case where somebody created a picture in Excel, and when I imported it into Word and produced the final document, um, because of the way the formatting works, when I converted it, it dropped all the last number off of every single number. So numbers that are supposed to read 10,000 were reading 1,000. And so the results kind of looked nonsensical and silly. But when I imported it, I didn't really think to look that it was doing that until I found the original Excel file and looked at it that was given to me, and that's when we discovered this error. But it was embarrassing. And you don't ever want to use Excel for database management. So if you have a lot of data and you just want to sort it or display it different ways, Excel is not the tool to use. You'll create an unwieldy spreadsheet, and that's just a complete, again, a bastardization of the purpose of a spreadsheet. It's a mathematical tool. It's not a database manipulation tool. That would be Access. So that's important to stress the differences between the three. So we're going to, since Laura, the laptop here, is loaded with 2016, we're going to use the 2016 interface. And there are some pretty cool differences between 2013 and 2016 in terms of capabilities. So we're going to look at 2016. So when we click Excel, here's what we get. It pulls up into this sheet right here. So it shows Excel. It shows any recovered files, and right now I have none. And recovered files, let's say that you're in the middle of creating a spreadsheet or manipulating a spreadsheet, and there's a glitch or the program shuts down unexpectedly. Excel will save those files so you don't lose all your work. Again, it's always recommended that when you're working on things, save often. Every couple minutes, save. Every so many calculations, save. But it does have a recovered file, but Excel recovers it on its own terms. So you may lose data that was recently input. It may not be in the recovered file, but you'll get most of your data or whatever the spreadsheet is. So just be aware of the differences. Then it'll say recent. So here's all the ones I worked on last week, and I worked on one. Open other workbooks. So what that'll do, that'll take me into my directory, and if there's something else I want to open, then I can choose from my directories which file to open. And then let's say I want to create something new. Well, it gives me different templates. So here's a blank workbook. I can take the tour. Here's one about my cash flow. Let me enlarge the screen here. So it's got different ones. My calendar, academic calendar, to-do list, personal expenses calculator, and it'll do some graphics, loan comparison calculator. So if the problem that you want to solve in your process is something that you can do with one of these pre-made templates, by all means, use the pre-made template, save yourself some time and some effort, and use the pre-made templates. There's no shame in expediting a process by using something that's already there. No reason to reinvent the wheel unless you have to. So if you don't have to reinvent the wheel, don't do it. That's just a waste of time and a waste of effort. And yeah, you can show that you do it, and that's good, but it's not necessarily efficient. So I've got one I'm going to open, this one right here. So let's wait a second while it does its thing. So this is my spreadsheet here. And there's not much to it. It's a pretty simplistic spreadsheet, and that's okay. So we had gone through the different functions. So we'll highlight them real quick. So here's cut. So if I highlight if I highlight a cell and I hit cut, then the cell goes away. It's deleted, it's removed. If I go copy, the existing still stays there, and then if I click on another cell, it'll copy in. It's your typical cut and copy. So we've got functions on the color of the fill. I can change the background. I can change what my text color is. I can change the fonts. I can put borders in. Gives me different options on borders. Say I want thick outside borders. See, it puts this border in here. If I want to go back, it takes it back out. So it allows me a lot of different formatting things. And this is just on the home. This is called a ribbon right here. And the ribbon's got a bunch of different commands. So if I go up here, for example, and I don't want to show all the commands and I just want to show the tabs, you see that? I just clicked on that and I said on my ribbon display options, I just want to show the tabs. If I want to hide the ribbon altogether, I can do that and it just shows this. And I click on the 3 dots and it comes back again. I prefer show tabs and commands. That's just me because that way my commands are there. So basically, we have to think binary when we're thinking with Excel because it reads a cell as one of two things. There's only two options. It's either a number or it's text. So for example, this cell here, and the cell's name is right here, A1. So cell A1, and it shows it up there on what cell it is. See cell A1. And A1, the text on that, it just says text. And it's a text cell because it's just letters. So if I type in text, it will automatically by default justify it to the left. This one's a number. So Excel is looking in my input bar here, or the formula bar, and if the first thing it sees is a number or like a mathematical value, it says, oh, this is a number. If it sees something that isn't a mathematical value, it says this is text. So that's how Excel tells. It looks at the very first character you type, and if that's a number, hey, it's a number. It knows it's a number, and if it's not, it's text. When it displays it in the normal display, you'll notice this is a number and it's displayed to the left. That's a number, it's displayed to a left. Same there. This is text. So let's say I want to just display a text that's an equation. So if I type in an equation and I say equals 10 plus 1, it says, okay, the first thing is a mathematical property. So it's a number. So it's going to give you 11. That's the value it returns. So let's say I want to display the actual equals 10 plus 1. So what I do is I put an apostrophe at the very beginning. And so since that's an apostrophe, it's non-mathematical, non-numeric, so Excel knows that that's text. So if I want to display numbers as text, I have to start with a non-numeric, non-mathematical character like an apostrophe. So see, I've got apostrophe equals 10 plus 1, and it returns equals 10 plus 1. Here, I don't have the apostrophe, and it returns 11. So it's actually performing the mathematical computation here at 10 plus 1. We've got A2 plus A4. Oh, I want to add cell A2 and A4. Okay. Well, if I just type in A2, A4, the first character is text, so it goes, oh, okay, this is just a text. I go down here now, and I say, okay, I want to add A2 and A4 together. I got the equal sign, then I got the cell name, A2 plus A4, and look, now it returns 21. So it's going 10 plus 11 is 21. One of the very common used ones is the summation. So this is a function, and a very simple function. So equal, the function is sum, and I'm going to sum from cells A1 through A6, and I get 42. Notice on my sum function, it ignores text cells. So it goes, that's text, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. It's only looking for the number cells. So if I want to display that as text, again, I put the apostrophe in front of it. And I wanted to show this, if I've got something, see how this overlaps into cell B? So if I got the exact same thing, but I have a value in cell B, it'll truncate it. It's still there because it shows it's still there. It's just truncated. So it's just a matter of cell manipulation. And that is our intro to Excel.